Hey folks, this is Gunther. I want to make a real quick video on this CJ2A. It appears my neighbor Joe is going to put it up for sale, and it is the 22nd of August and of 2023. So this Jeep has been over at his house under a tarp for about a year and a half or so since we completed the project. So it's a little dusty, but he starts it routinely, keeps it up, keep the oil flowing through and stuff like that. But I want to go through, and I think the last video I did on this was I had all of the parts that we had taken off the Jeep laid out, and just to show you what'll come with the sale is throw in the mechanics manual that I used. Right here. I know it's not the full-blown, Willys formal manual, but it was enough to get through what we did to this Jeep, because as I said, we wanted to keep it as original as possible and not like tear through every single thing, even though we did probably go through every nut and bolt and cranny just to try to get back restored as much as we could within a reasonable budget. The other thing is a lot of the parts came from Kaiser's Willys. However, we also used some of the places that we were able to find online locally. I know there was a place that I had to buy a ring and pinion out of Arizona or New Mexico, I think, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But there was also some stuff that we bought from Walks four-wheel drive up in Pennsylvania. And anything that did come with from Kaiser's is documented as, as close to original as we could get it. There's some stuff that we could not find anywhere, and whether it was through Kaiser or anywhere online, or if we did, it was made in China, and we definitely didn't want to do anything like that whenever we were restoring this. So it's been a little while, so if memory corrects me, or if my memory's not failing me, but this is all the stuff. Now, a couple of people have asked, do we still have the original plates, the serial number plates and all that are for the Jeep? And we do, and I'll show you those in just a minute. I'm also going to follow up on this video. I'll actually go over there and we'll show the Jeep running, and we'll go through the stuff that I would look at if I were going to purchase a Jeep like this, for historical value or what have you. So here's some additional paperwork here in this little baggie. And what we did was we broke it down. Obviously the videos are on YouTube, and then we'll download those if needed and put those on DVD for you if you want to make this into a collector or a show car. But we kept the binders separate. So the financial is here, and that's all the receipts. I'll show you that in just a minute. And then the specifications and then the serial number plates are in this binder. And those will come, like I said, with the sale of Jeep. Now, I am basically the technical guy and the quote mechanic, even though I'm not a skilled mechanic. I did the majority of the labor and the hands-on work, as you saw in the video series. And then the owner, Mr. Joe Lopez, is the actual owner of record. So his name shows on the registration, on the insurance, on the clean bill of health, California clear title with no lien, as well as any ownership records to date. There is no liens. This was kind of a handshake. I've been compensated as much as I was willing to take. More so, it was just to keep me busy doing this project for him and keeping me out of the insane asylum, if you will. So it's a 1946 CJ2A. The serial number on all of the serial plates I'll show you is 13223, and my understanding that's a fairly early to mid serial number chassis, as well as Jeep. And all of the, and I'll get to the serial numbers in just a minute, but the financial. So what I did in this binder, excuse me, we went through here and we taught, how much he paid, and the dates and what was done. And then as we go through, we get to a final balance here. Now, this isn't what he's asking for the Jeep. Obviously, he's making a little bit of money, but not a lot. I think he's actually losing money, believe it or not. But his interest is to get a Volkswagen Beetle, like a late 60s or so, and then go from there. So surplus Jeep parts, Oroville, California. I bought the fuel tank, the seal, or the sending unit, straps and everything. There's your receipt for that. Also got the choke cable, the early, got the grommets for the neck on the fuel tank, the chrome gas cap. What else we got here? Front bumper. I don't remember what that, oh, the mount. And then we got some Specialized four-wheel drive out of Sacramento. This was the original receipt that came with when he purchased it, and you can hardly make out any of the writing on here, but yeah, it looks like it was originally owned in Vacaville, California, back in, and I can't make out the dates too well on this. But all this paperwork came to Joe, and then we put it in chronological order. So there's some Napa parts here, and then you'll see there's some Vols radiator where we had the radiator redone for $75, believe it or not. And then here's the Kaiser Willie. Now the thing about the Kaiser Willie Jeeps is our supply out of South Carolina. I know some people knock on them, but you know, they've got a lot of good stuff in my opinion, and a lot of semi-okay good stuff. But this is where I got like pinion bearing cones, the Mastner's crush washers, some of the hardware and stuff like that. So every single thing that we went through and bought from Kaiser is here. Oops, I got this upside down. There's a torque specification, and some of the manual sheets are here. And the reason I did that is because this is what I used for torque specs, since they were not in this mechanical manual, but they were actually in the 45, 53, and 65 online manuals. And I was able to find this online. It's probably not out there anymore, or if it is, you'd probably Google it, maybe. But as you can see, some of the torque specs where there's a range, I use the mid. Okay, so like if it says 60 to 70, I use 65, right in that middle area. Even though it's a 53 and we're using a 46, 65 to 75, I went to 70. I went on the middle to the upper end of those torque specs, okay? Same thing with the, now the valve lash, I set that right in between, I think it was 16 thousandths. I'll show you that when I do the next video on that, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in detail. But this is all the paperwork that I used for the technical information on repair. A little bit more of the Kaiser's receipts. This was one where I got back ordered, or they forgot to put the yoke seals in the bag, so I had to write on there and then email that to them. They made it good. They made me whole. Brake shoes, brake master cylinder, brake cylinders, the on the actual drums. I believe the fronts we replaced, the back ones we repaired and reconditioned. And then of course all those brake lines and all of that kind of stuff. But as you see, here we go. And disregard the total and the prices here. Some of that is not accurate, some of it is. So we can talk more of that as we get into the receipt here. But oh, and then I rented a engine hoist just to remove the engine, and that's where I put remove it because I didn't have one at the time. And then you'll see another one where it is to install the engine right here. I had a radiator leak test done, and it was Roseville radiator right here near Sacramento. And then here's the machine shop where they did hot tanked and mag the block and everything, and then standard board it. And it says mag okay, hardened seats were pitted bad, but I did use valve grinding compound and got those back. And then obviously once I did that, I checked all the valves, and then I did the lash set. Paid in full. Willys America, I bought some parts from them. It was a wiring harness. We did the entire wiring harness because the old one just fell apart. It was like made with boat, like 12 gauge wire. Oh, it wasn't even 12 gauge. It was like, I don't remember, 20 gauge wire or something like that, like speaker wire and all kinds of weird crap in there. But I did order and buy an entire correct CJ2A wiring harness for a 12 volt conversion. Got that. And then a little bit more Kaiser here. Willys Jeep parts. This is where I got the rear ring and pinion because one of the pinion gears teeth was broke off. So that alone, and I'm going to tell you right now, just that ring and pinion was $400. Okay, so, and that was FedEx to me. Paid, obviously, everything's good on that. But that ring and pinion set had to match, obviously, the front gearing and then the transfer case and the transmission. And it was very difficult to find that. And when it came to me, it was in some Cosmoline packaging. So I don't know where these people got that, but that was really cool. And I think I left that on the one of the videos. It was actually out of Yuma, Arizona. So hats off to them, as well as Kaiser. Walks 4-wheel drive. Those people are just jam-packing awesome. I bought the hat channels for underneath the passenger seat and underneath the toolbox. You'll see there's a receipt for that. Then I went back to Kaiser and bought a little bit more. And then here's what I used as far as the specification and the bolts for the CJ2A body parts. So I also put the little rubber gas, well, they're not gas, they're rubber like vibration dampers that go in between the tub body and the frame. I put all those back together, and then obviously used the correct parts here that I bought at, oh man, that you can hardly see that receipt, that I bought at Ace Hardware. There's a list of that, okay? And then here's some more receipts. I did buy some stuff at Harbor Freight, but that was tooling. Those receipts are here. I got some stuff at O'Reilly's, also some cleaning and some brake cleaner, stuff like that. A little bit more stuff from Napa, some more stuff from Harbor Freight. Now, I'm a firm believer in Harbor Freight if it's hammers, chisels, screwdrivers, pliers. I am not gonna buy a torque wrench. I am not gonna get anything technical from them. But when you're looking to save money, ball peen hammer, dead blow hammer, stuff like that, I'll buy from them. A little bit more Napa stuff, Ace Hardware. Those are receipts all right here. And then the Kaiser Willys, I'm back to that. And so that is the financial binder. Okay, now we'll jump into, first thing everybody's asking is, where's the serial number plates? Right here. Now, you have got your, I guess that would be the gear position for your transmission and your transfer case, and the speeds, how to do your cooling system. Here's the other Willys patent. As you see, the serial number 3223. As you'll see here, here's the plate, CJ2A 13223. And then here's the plate for the shift in and out for the transfer case, and then the on the steering shift lever. And then here is the serial number plate. That's kind of hard to make out with the tape, I'm sorry. 13223. And then, like I said, there's the other serial number plate is on the frame itself. So all of those serial numbers match, and these are the original. What I did was I buffed these down with the buff wheel, and then I painted them, and then I wiped them with a cloth. And so your raised lettering all stays kind of chrome looking, and then beneath that is your darkened black. So it came out real good. If you want to do something different, there you go. But that's mounted on some cardboard for y'all, or for the next buyer, next owner. Here's actual made a Xerox of the serial number plate so everybody could see that. Maybe these serial numbers come out a little bit better on this. That's what they actually look like before I did some kind of, now I didn't use any gun cleaning oil or something like that. I probably could use some Hoppies or something, but there's your serial number on there on the body. And this one didn't come out real good, but, and then I've got another specification here, talking about the lubrication and mineral oil and stuff like that. It does have the Dual-Matic locking hubs on the front. So here is an actual sheet that I found buried in some old paperwork for this Jeep that shows you how to install and how to adjust them, just like that, okay? And obviously they were rebuilt. I actually made gaskets for in there. Here's the wiring harness, the original, okay? So with the, let me see, with the generator. So this was, if it was 6 volt, that's what it would have been originally. And here is what it is now with the 12 volt conversion. So, not sure where I got this. I think I probably got this on one of the forums that one of the other users was generous to put out, but that's the way it's wired it up now. And it actually has that brand new wiring harness wired up to the brand new alternator, the new battery, new battery switch, the foot switch, you know, the key, blah, blah, blah. All right, and then you've got your axle. Rear ratio is 488 to 1. The axle is only full floating ever used in the CJ from the factory, but is not known for its strength. So we knew that. I talked about that in the one of the videos. It's original CJ 2A rear end or differential and carrier. So just know that if you're gonna turn this into like a rock crawler or something like that, it's not really made for that, but you want to upgrade. And then here's the Dana 27. This is the front, and obviously that ratio is 488 to 1, and that matches the rear as well. Here is the transfer case. If you remember, I did not go through and do all the needle bearings on the transmission or the transfer case. I went through them and cleaned up all the gaskets and all the seals, and then I painted it, and we changed the fluid and the oils where it needed to be. And there's a big old list of stuff in here as far as the transfer case and the transmission. So that's it on this video. I'll jump back over there and we'll do another one on the Jeep running, and then we'll turn it off. I'll climb up underneath there and I'll show you anything that I see since it's been sitting around for a little while. It's got some leaves and stuff in there, but we'll get that blown out, and then we'll get up underneath there and I'll point you scratches or any rust that might be making it through that primer that we applied and so forth. So thanks for watching, and again, she's coming up for sale, and I'll talk to you soon.